Are you ruining your financial future without being aware of it? Building a good base for the rest of your life is most important in your 20s. Still, most people make mistakes with their money that keep them struggling for years or even decades. Based on the timeless wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi, this video will show you the 5 worst money mistakes you should never make in your 20s. Lesson 1. Not building an emergency fund. Are you ready for what might happen? When you're in your 20s, life often feels like a big adventure. You're going after your dreams, looking into new options, and facing problems head-on. The most important thing that Miyamoto Musashi taught us, though, is that being ready is the key to victory. Musashi was very good at planning ahead, so he knew that a warrior's common mistake was not being ready. In terms of money, your emergency fund is like a plan. It's your defense against the unexpected things that happen in life. Let's say you lose your job tomorrow, or your car breaks down, or you need to pay for hospital bills right away. If you don't have an emergency fund, these kinds of events can quickly become very expensive. You could use credit cards, borrow money, or even spend your savings on things that were meant to help you reach other goals. This is how one sudden event can turn into a huge bill that stays with you for years. You might think you can't lose when you're in your 20s. In fact, you might always find a way out. But Musashi taught that being proud makes you blind to danger. He wrote in the Book of 5 Rings, "Don't think lies. Don't look for pleasure just because it's fun. Do not keep things that you no longer need." In other words, you need to be clear about your future, stay away from risks that aren't necessary, and be ready for storms even when the weather is nice. Being disciplined is key to building up a backup fund. It means putting some of your cash aside every month, no matter how little. You should try to save enough money to cover your living costs for at least 3 to 6 months. This fund gives you the freedom to pick smart things. It gives you the freedom to leave bad jobs, deal with emergencies calmly, and focus on long-term progress. Musashi's knowledge helps us guess what the enemy will do next. These days, that enemy is doubt. Putting together an emergency fund does more than just save you money. It also gives you peace of mind. You are building a financial wall around yourself that will protect you financially and give you peace of mind that you will be ready for anything that comes your way. Lesson 2. Racking up high-interest debt. Do not let yourself be led by the feeling of lust or love, Musashi wrote. In the modern world, that lust looks like the need for instant satisfaction. It talks to you every time you use your credit card to buy something you can't afford. It tempts you to borrow money. It will trap you for years if you're not careful. In your 20s, one of the worst things you can do with your money is take out loans or credit cards with high interest rates. But since it spreads like a weed, the interest grows while you sleep. What started as a $1,000 bill can grow to thousands of dollars if you don't pay it. It keeps you from making money in the future. It holds you down with worry. The worst part is that it turns into a habit. Musashi thought that connection was what caused pain. It might seem hard at first, but everything is hard at first. Giving up the bad habit of spending money you don't have is not easy, but it has to be done. You have to train your mind to fight the urges that lead to debt, just like Musashi trained his sword over and over again. Do you really need that new phone? That pricey trip? That notch up? Or is it just something to take your mind off of something more important, like an emotion? A lot of people find comfort in spending money, but by doing that, they make things worse. Being truly strong means being able to deal with pain without turning to material things to escape. Do something if you already have a lot of high-interest debt. Don't freak out. Make a plan for paying it back. Cut costs that aren't necessary. Pay off your smallest bill first, and then add that payment to the next one. This is called the snowball method. You could also pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first, the avalanche way. Pick the approach that works best for you, but be sure to fully commit to it. Musashi won many fights not because he was the best, but because he was the most well-behaved. He knew how to use time, patience, and power. You need to think this way too. Don't let your wants control you. Get out of debt and take back your financial freedom. Lesson 3. Ignoring retirement savings. It's easy to think that retirement is a long way off when you're in your 20s. You're still young and should enjoy building your job, following your dreams, and maybe even having fun with friends. But remember this, time doesn't wait for anyone. And when it comes to money, your wealth can grow faster if you start saving for retirement early. The great sage and swordsman Miyamoto Musashi once said, "Do nothing that is not useful." If you don't save for retirement, you miss out on compound interest, which is the most powerful way to get rich. If you give it time, every dollar you save today could grow and spread over time. If you wait until you're older, you might miss out on years or even decades of growth. You can't get that time back once it's gone. Picture putting down a tree. It will grow bigger, give off more shade, and have stronger roots if you plant it early. If you wait too long, though, the tree will stay small and weak, and it won't be able to give fruit when you need it most. Your nest egg for retirement is that tree. If you have to, start small. Every little bit counts. Even if it's only $50 a month, it will become a habit that you will never break. You must know that there is more than one way to reach the top of the mountain, Musashi also said. There are different ways for different people to get ready for retirement. Some put their money into stocks, others into real estate, and still others into their businesses. It's important that you begin your journey right now. There is no such thing as the right plan or time, so don't wait for them. Start with what you already have and add to it. You will have a hard time in the future if you don't save for retirement when you are in your 20s. If you start now, even if it's just a little, you'll be setting yourself up for freedom, peace of mind, and the freedom to live your life the way you want when the time comes. See what you can't see with your eye is something that Musashi taught us. It may seem like a long time away, but your retirement is actually coming up soon. Today is the day to start. You'll thank yourself later. Lesson 4. Not investing or being too scared to start. In his famous lessons, Miyamoto Musashi talked a lot about how important it is to be ready, have courage, and act quickly. There are different ways to reach the top of the mountain, as Musashi wrote in his well-known book, The Book of Five Rings. This is very true when it comes to spending. A lot of people in their 20s don't start spending because they're afraid of losing money, making mistakes, or not knowing enough. But if you wait too long, you miss out on compound growth, which is the most powerful force in business. You lose the important benefit of time when you put off investing. Think about two people. After 25 years, one starts putting away $200 a month, while the other waits until 35 years old. That person will have a lot more money in the end, even if they only spend the same amount every month. They started at age 25. But because their money had more time to grow, spread, and add to itself. The main thing that Musashi taught was, do not let the spirit of doubt or fear take over you. You lose out on your future possibilities if you are afraid of the unknown and don't do anything. Some people think that only rich people can buy, or that you have to time the market just right. Perfection is not the goal, progress is, Musashi would say. It's much more important to start small, learn as you go, and be consistent than to wait for the perfect time to spend. Putting away small amounts of money on a daily basis can make you very rich over time. Musashi also taught that it's important to be flexible. You must know that there are different ways to reach the top of the mountain. To put it another way, you can invest in many things, like stocks, index funds, real estate, or even your own business. The important thing is to act or start. Don't let fear stop you from taking action, whether you start with a small amount in a simple index fund or look into other options. To sum up, learn the basics, be consistent, and put money away for the long run. Do not let fear stop you. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday, Musashi would say. Today is the day to get over your fear and take the first step toward being financially free. Lesson 5. Living beyond your means. Living beyond your means is one of the worst things you can do with your money when you're in your 20s. It seems appealing, doesn't it? It seems safe and even right to want a new car, the newest gadgets, nights out with friends, and expensive clothes. Remember that you're young and that everyone else is too. However, the truth is that you're building your life on sand if you always spend more than you earn. Everything you've worked for can fall apart with just one gust of wind. Do nothing that is useless, Miyamoto Musashi taught us. This important lesson is great for managing your money. You should ask yourself if the things you buy really make your life better. Are they investments in your future or short-term pleasures that you'll forget about right away? When you spend more than you earn, you often give up long-term freedom for short-term pleasure. and Musashi would never agree to that deal. As a samurai, he knew how to be disciplined to stay away from temptation and keep his mind on what's important. A lot of people in their 20s get caught up in shopping because they want to look good. People buy things to show that they've made it and fit in. But Musashi told us not to do that and reminded us that the only way to success is to go it alone. You need to know that there are different ways to get to the top of the mountain, he told her. It doesn't mean you have to live from paycheck to paycheck like your friends and family. When you're brave enough to say no to things you don't need, you can say yes to your future. That's true strength. You don't have to live a boring life to stick to your budget. Setting your freedom, liberty, and peace of mind as your top priorities is what it means. Spending should be in line with your values, not with the latest fads in society. Musashi said that you become unshakable when you master your wants. Musashi said, the ultimate goal of martial arts is not having to use them. Keep this in mind the next time you want to buy something that will break the bank. The main goal of managing money is to never have to worry about it again. To build the life you really want tomorrow, you need to start by living within your means today.